Okay, this is the first video I have done since April. Um, the fly that I have here, I don't know if you guys can really see it that well, is a spoontail articulated bugger. This one in the vise is in green. I'm going to tie one in pink. Um, Need to cut my spoon off here. Hold on. So you see, it's an articulated woolly bugger with this spoon. This spoon I painted green. The spoon that I'm using on this fly I'm getting ready to tie, I used a Sharpie to color it red. Using the marker Sharpies, it kind of, the shine comes through. I just like the way it looks. It's a little bit better than paint. My hook is a 1/80 ounce stopper jig hook. Those, I like these hooks. They're not the best hooks in the world, but they are convenient. But we're not going to start with the hook. We are going to use a 15 millimeter shank and a 10 millimeter shank, and we're going to start with the 10 millimeter shank. Let me open it up here. We're going to put the spoon on one end of the shank, and the swivel on the other end of the shank. I started tying this fly for bass. I have caught bass, crappie, rock bass, bluegill with this fly. Okay, so we got our spoon on one side of the shank, swivel on the other side of the shank. I'm gonna wrap some thread around there and close that shank off. There we go. Going to whip finish that. And Sally Hansen's on that. We'll move that out of the way. We're going to take our 15 millimeter shank and get it in the vise. Get the swivel spoon on there and get this in the vise. Okay, get some thread down on that. Hold it closed. Kind of smooth that out a little bit. We can. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a tail on this to kind of help hide that swivel. So what I use for the tail, I'm using strung saddle hackle. So what we make this little tail out of is, find a feather here. So what we'll make the tail out of is this fluffy stuff down here on the bottom of the feather. So I got a piece cut off already. And I'm just going to cut just one side of this off. Lay that right on top like that. Now you don't want to go too far back because you interfere with the way the spoon spins. But you do want to kind of get enough on there to help hide that swivel. That should do pretty good. Okay, that will work. Wrap all that in. And then we're going to put some hackle on there. Okay, and we're going to whip finish this one. You know what? I'm going to let that go. Okay, we got that in. We're going to set this to the side. And now we're going to grab our hook. Gonna get my thread started on here. And we're going to take a piece of 10-pound monofilament. And we're going to tie that onto the top of the shank. Take the piece that's coming off the front, fold it back over, and tie it down. This will stop the monofilament from sliding out on you. I'm going to cut that off. And we're going to take the tail section that we made, and we're going to run the monofilament through the shank. Like that. Well, not a huge gap there, but a little bit. You know, I don't want the shank down tight. They want it to be able to move around some. Okay, see, we can adjust this to about right there. And I'm going to take this, fold it down, tie it in. That will help stop that from sliding out. Okay, that's good. So I need to get this spoon and tail, stay out of my way here. Got my material clip. Going to take a big safety pin, run it through the hole in the spoon, run the safety pin through the material clip. There we go. That will hold that out of the way. And then we're going to hackle the hook here. I'm going to run this thread back up towards the front of the hook and see if I can brush this back. One of those things that would be easier to do if I had all my fingers. There we go. And then I'm going to do my whip finish there. So that is pretty much it. That is a articulated spoontail bugger. Like I said, I've caught bass, crappie, bluegill with this fly, rock bass with this. The first fish I caught on this pattern was a rock bass. This is my first pink one that I've tied. I've tied it in green and chartreuse, whatever, and purple. This is one of those flies people are gonna, oh, that's not a fly. It's tied to the hook. I cast it with the fly rod. As far as I'm concerned, it's a fly. You don't want to fish with it, you don't want to call it a fly, you don't have to. That's fine. I'll call it a fly. I'll fish with it. And I'll catch more fish than you.